Hello and welcome back, everybody. I come to you currently while the Bucks are getting handled by the Celtics in a 17-point deficit, 8 minutes 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. This recording by yours truly, Rob Brunswick, for Rambles from the Garden, is brought to you by Anchor, the free podcasting platform where you can take your words and your voice and bring it to life. So it's been a long time. Knicks' interesting season this year did not end well for them. Uh, you know, you gotta take what you come with. Last year was an overachievement. This year there was expectations that were high. We've gone over this a million times, and those expectations weren't met, which comes as no surprise. Now, the one interesting thing is how the season ended, which was very reassuring for Knicks fans. And, if you've been reading any of the stuff I've been putting out on the blog, there has been a sign of hope given to us. And that comes in the form of Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin. RJ Barrett also, he's a given though. He's been kind of cooking since January, or cooked since from January onward. He finished the season averaging 20 points per game. Efficiency, not right there, not good, but has the potential to increase, obviously with the coming years and just practice and stuff with his trainers and coaching staff really digging in and committing to him being the guy. But anyway, Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin finished the year like hot, like outrageously hot. I mean, those last 5 games in, was it April? April. Those last 5 games for both guys were incredible. Obi Toppin averaged 27.2 points on 55.1 from the field, 56.3% shooting from 3 on a good amount of volume, and 86.4% from the line. He also averaged a block and like 6.8 rebounds in there. Really looking like the power forward that he was advertised as, getting drafted 8th overall last year. And nobody's mad about it. In fact, we'll get to it eventually. I won't keep this too long. But with the whole Julius Randle scandal going on, who knows how this will turn out. Emmanuel Quickley, on the other hand, averaged 20 points a game on 40.9 field goal percentage, 35.7 from 3 on a decent volume, and 72.2% from the free throw line, if I'm reading that right, considering he was once a free throw leader in the league. So these two had tremendous games. I mean, Quickley's final game against the Raptors, he had a 34-point triple-double. Obi Toppin had a career-high 42 points. It was one of the most electric and electrifying games and exciting games to see them together. And not too long after the fact, I actually don't remember the chronology here. It may have been actually not too long after the first career high of 20 points, where Thibodeau made comments in the presser that he regretted not playing Obi sooner and more often. And I get it. End of season, teams that the Knicks were playing were either bottom feeders or teams that had already made the playoffs and didn't need to worry. Defenses sag off and stuff like that. But still, you get a chance to showcase what you got, and they did. Now, obviously, Knicks fans want to have a homegrown guy. They want to have draft picks work out for them for a change. RJ Barrett's the former third overall pick from the 2019 draft, and that's, I guess, where they kind of have their main focus. Obviously, IQ and Obi are also some of our favorite draft picks from the recent years. Quentin Grimes, Deuce, and Sims will also get there, and we like their progress so far. Where was it going? Oh, they also actually contributed a good amount of minutes this year, and quality minutes for that matter. So, RJ Barrett may be the guy. He's due for an extension, actually. His max is somewhere in the 20 millions. And, he might get it. He may get it. I don't know what the Knicks front office is thinking right now. Maybe an unpopular take, but I don't necessarily think he deserves close to the max right now for any current accolades or, accomplishments. Now, the thought process here is you're banking on potential, which is pretty much what you always do. You bank on potential. RJ's been an Iron Man for the most part. He's been showing signs of getting better every year. And I believe, even though his efficiency was down, he has taken that stride to prove that he can be the guy someday. So, you gotta, if you want to bank on the potential, you don't want to let him go. I get it. Mitchell Robinson too will be getting an extension, or due an extension, or a free, new contract, which is also up for debate at this rate. Somewhere in the range of about 14-15 million a year, which I think is actually a fair assessment and a evaluation. What's the word? Appraisal. That's a fair appraisal for him. He hasn't done anything crazy with his career, but I mean, he played the most games of his career this season. Started off shaky, but got better on defense throughout the year. Didn't really develop much of an offensive game, but turned possessions and second chance opportunities into something this year, which I liked by him. Now, all this consideration, though, has you wondering what's going to happen with Julius Randle. If he's gone, he's gone. I would like to see him prosper here, make up for his crap season we saw this year, obviously. A lot of people would say the opposite, and they may not want him even to step foot on MSG's floor ever again, unless it's in another uniform. And, there's now speculation about, now that the Jazz have been eliminated from the first round, Donovan Mitchell may be available. There's no definitive nature of this. There's rumors about Rudy Gobert wanting to be traded, or, putting the Jazz in an ultimatum where he or Mitchell are gone. No guarantees on this. I do not have NBA sources, and the sources that I see have sources. Can't guarantee any of this, right? So, with all the speculation going on, who knows what's to happen. You might be seeing the Knicks put together a trade package for Donovan Mitchell, pairing him with either Randle or the young guys of RJ Barrett, IQ, Obi, etc., etc. And there's really no certainty. I was interested in Donovan. I like his swagger. I like, his willingness to win, but this first round appearance by him against the Mavericks, I was seeing it myself, and I was hearing a lot because I didn't watch much of the series, but just him giving up on defense, the body language, that's just all what we saw from Julius this year as Knicks fans. And, for 82 games, well, 70-something, 60-something games that he played, that's what all we saw was bad body language, just bad effort defensively. I mean, he was a freaking traffic cone. So why would we want two of those on one team? Trading for Donovan in some way will require a hefty payload. So, avoiding it while maintaining some of the young homegrown talent, I'd be okay with. I'm cool with even running it back again this year or next year with the same team from this season, because we saw guys like even Evan Fournier picking up the pace as the second half of the season kicked off. He was a much better shooter. Defensively, still a liability, but his offense, he brought it more often than not as the second half of the season kicked off and continued. Oh, guys like Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel are my concern, though. I'm not sure if I like them being around anymore. Thankfully, they're on some team-friendly contracts. I'm sure, even though Noel and Burks, or Noel mostly, have had injury issues, I believe contenders may still be interested. And I don't want to overvalue these guys here. I'm just saying that, Nerlens Noel is a good come-off-the-bench big, and he will, get his rebounds, get his blocks, be a rim protector for a team anxious to protect the rim. Burks can be a scorer off the bench for anybody, and hopefully not a facilitator for most teams, because him starting the most and playing the most minutes per game in the second post-All-Star break, was it? Post-All-Star break, I think. And contributing what he contributed was a travesty. So avoiding that at all costs would be great. But, there's a lot to talk about. I do not have much more to go into. I just wanted to really bring to light some of the major talking points heading into this offseason. Since the playoffs are still going on, I mean, Bucks Celtics are still going on, and they're down. The Bucks are down 16, which is not fun. But Bucks Celtics going on game 2. We got game 2 of Warriors Grizzlies coming up, which will also be nice. I did not fully watch the first game. That came down to the wire though, and honestly, to avoid staying up too late, I will probably not watch this one either, or at least part of it. Nevertheless, playoffs are still kicking. We got a long road ahead of us as Knicks fans before anything really gets going down. I believe the draft's in June, if not July, early July. So, Knicks pick 11th. That is something to keep in mind. There's the potential, maybe we put together a trade package, trade up. We might trade back, as Leon Rose has made a habit of doing. There's a whole bunch of stuff to wonder that's about to happen. And, in the foreground, obviously, is the guys like RJ, IQ, Obi. And then development. Thibs is already pretty much confirmed as head coach for the beginning of the year. I kind of feel like I could see him going down the trajectory of when he joined the Timberwolves, where, he's on the hot seat. Starts off the season bad, and he's gone after the first, 20 games, let's say. I wouldn't be surprised. Leon Rose and the front office do seem committed to him. So, who knows how it turns out. RJ, in his podcast episode with JJ Redick, did say that Thibs was his guy. So I think the future franchise cornerstone and current franchise cornerstone, debatably, speaking well and giving praise to Thibodeau may hurt most people's cases for wanting to fire Thibodeau. Maybe there is a bad seed, a bad apple in the group. Don't want to point too many fingers, but I think you know where I'm going with this. And I think it may have just infected and polluted the locker room, or just, the morale of the team this year. So maybe if that bad apple is eliminated, things can turn around. But I don't have sources. This is all speculation myself, and I just love talking about it, honestly. So I'm going to end it off here. If you've been following me on Twitter, I actually just recently tweeted about wanting to do a mailbag. Now, I have no experience doing this. I've only seen other people do it. I don't know the slightest bit about how to invite people or get people to write me questions. But please, posting this on YouTube, posting this on all the podcast platforms, forums. Leave some comments, leave some questions in my Twitter feed. I would love to write up a little post answering some of the major burning questions that people have. In the best of my ability and in my words. I want to see how people are thinking. The Knicks, what trajectory the Knicks take, what they're interested in doing, what they might not be interested in doing, what Knicks fans do and don't want them to do at all. Thought processes on Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett. I like, you can't just have the same thought process as everybody else. Conflicting viewpoints happen, and I'm actually here to see it. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on everything. And I'll write up a little blog post, share it, And that's it, folks. Follow, like, subscribe as usual, as I request. My merch shop has some designs that I've put up recently. Nothing crazy. But, as always, a share is always appreciated. Word of mouth is just as important as viewership. Love you guys. Appreciate you supporting me. That'll be it from me. Take care.